Hey everyone, my name's Will Freeman.
And I'm Kira Freeman.
And welcome to Summer Games Fest's first ever Green Games Showcase, brought to you by Planet Play. I've just always loved games my whole life, and obviously I love that they're these immersive worlds, they tell these amazing stories, they take me away and they entertain me. Something else I really love about games and really believe in is they've got this potential to make a really positive difference to the world we share, and essentially that's what today is all about.
Exactly, and that's why we're so excited to take you through some games today that aren't only delivering great gaming experiences, but also making a positive difference to the planet. So with that in mind, we've got some great game trailers to go through today. So from new releases to established hits, we're going to go through how we can make a real difference through games, and all we have to do is play.
Right, and the Green Games Showcase, I mentioned before, is brought to you by Planet Play. So let's just stop briefly to talk about what Planet Play is, who Planet Play are. Planet Play is a not-for-profit gaming platform that helps games generate funds to help address the climate emergency. 100% of the proceeds raised currently go to certified green projects. What that means is going to projects on the ground, making a real practical difference to protecting our planet's future and to improving people's lives for the better.
And we're hoping to raise $150,000 just from today's stream. So no pressure there, Will. So if you want to help even more, there will be some exclusive in-game green items. So why not treat yourself to some of those? You can also share the games with your friends and spread the message of the green gaming movement.
And as you'll see, loads of the games we're going to share with you today are PC games. You can get many of those PC games and loads of more great green games over at planetplay.com. You can also, if you want, go there and just make a direct donation to help our fundraising target for today. And in fact, a few of the game companies whose games we're about to look at have already made donations there. So honestly, just thank you so much. It's given us an amazing head start and it's going to let us make a practical difference.
And while we're saying thank you so much to Summer Games Fest for spotlighting green gaming as part of such a brilliant event. And now, it is time for us to dive into our first category, which is games that are green by design.
So games that are green by design means that the game itself, the content you're playing, or at least a significant part of it, is about green issues. So the first game is Imagine Earth by Serious Brothers. It's a PC city builder that's out now, and it's also a climate crisis simulator. Really interesting, so let's take a look.
Your job as a space colony manager is to establish thriving and profitable colonies on a global scale.
Greetings.
Hi. Welcome to the Andromeda Galaxy. Build cities and their supply networks. Satisfy their hunger for resources.
However, right now I urgently require a shipment of titanium.
Take care of pollution and emissions caused by your expanding cities.
In the research panel, you can research upgrades for your buildings.
With increased climate change, natural disasters are becoming more frequent and severe. Let us use the second chance to change our way of life and to transform the production of energy and goods in a sustainable way. Achieving a balance between growth and sustainability is the final challenge for every civilization. Imagine Earth Limited, building sustainable civilizations.
Wow, what a great start. I want to get home and play that straight away. I guess I grew up with settlement builders, god games like SimCity, Populous, The Settlers. And to think about taking a game like that and adding, as you build your settlement, you've got to consider this kind of looming climate crisis and sustainability. It's just such a perfect pairing of kind of the green message and an amazing bit of game design.
Yeah, I love that. That you've got to think about all your different resources and kind of level everything up at the same time, but like Catan, which I love.
And so for the next game, we're going to look at Elwyn Quest of Time by Earthwise Games. It's a web-based card game about thriving with nature.
Lost in a world of winners and losers, the new game is rising, win-win-win striving. New rules to play, new ways to gain, as we win-win the game. You will rule the world, rise to unite, play to thrive. Turn the tide on loss and division. ruthless competition. Hearts to unite, they to thrive, win-win in the game of life.
Oh, well, I like the look of that actually. I do love a deck builder. Well, we've played quite a lot of Dominion, haven't we, at home? So and also when it's all automated, you don't have to shuffle the cards yourself.
Yeah, and you don't have to argue about the rules. And yeah, just so interesting. It reminded me of, Dominion, Ascension, I guess Hearthstone, Balatro.
So next we've got Longleaf Valley by Trees Please Games. It's an award-winning mobile tree planting merge puzzler.
That's obviously the kind of game with a really wide appeal, and that's important. Like, I definitely love a kind of niche, pretentious genre myself, but I also love these games just with this hugely wide appeal, because that gets the green message to more people and the fundraising coming from more people.
Think of all the real trees getting planted in real life. I find that really exciting.
Yeah, and speaking of exciting, next we're going to look at Out and About by Yaldi. I love this one, a cosy foraging game, and it's going into early access soon, so keep an eye on it, get wish listing.
I love that one. I think I could lose many hours, if not weeks, into that game. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. It just gave me a kind of real sense of that wonderful feeling of spending time in the countryside.
So next we're going to look at Hawthorne from Near Studios, which is coming soon to Steam. So get that on your wish list. And there's a Kickstarter out for that now. So let's take a look.
They call it Windermere. This place, nestled in its ancient and unsung valley. They live here, together, the animal folk. Mice from Lundwick, otters from Otterheim, and owls from High Arry. They've returned. Resettled this valley, ill aware of its shadowed history. These bold homesteaders explore, carve a place for themselves here, weather the 4 seasons, and lay claim to the land's bounty. Here, they live and they laugh. They forge their own stories. And make memories. I envy them. Perhaps one day we'll earn each other's trust.
Oh, I absolutely love that. I mean, I think I'd almost rather live in that world of animals than our world of humans. Like, yeah, you could kind of feel the lore and the storytelling and coming off it. That game is a place I want to be.
Yeah, exactly. It makes it look like you are living with all of those animals. It's like it kind of makes you more invested in nature as well, doesn't it?
Next, then, we're going to look at Sky Farm Island by Mesh Minds. It's actually a Roblox game and it's set in the Garden City of Singapore. Really interesting concept. Let's see what it's about.
I can so imagine the kids getting into that, because taking those real life, like, educational lessons and putting them into that format, I mean, you're onto a winner, really, aren't you?
Yeah, really powerful stuff. And I guess, the youth of today are the custodians of our planet's future. So engaging them now through something as popular as Roblox, what a powerful idea. I love it.
And next we've got World Reborn by Wicked Saints, and it's the world's first adventure activism game.
Hey, I'm Jess with Wicked Saint Studios. Our game, World Reborn, is the first game of its kind where fantasy narrative gameplay meets real-life changemakers. Beautiful art and immersive storytelling will reveal where your unique strengths lie and give you small ways to change your reality. We touch any cause you care about, and we're excited to feature real-world quests to save our planet in our grand launch coming soon. But right now, it's out for a limited time, so you have 2 weeks to download the game and play.
Amazing stuff again. And that was actually the last of our games that we framed as green by design. Now we're going to look at a few games that include green activations. So a green activation, I guess, is something green in any game that's been designed as a piece of entertainment. So lots of the games we're going to see, they're not necessarily green games by theme, but working with Planet Play, they've added green elements, green fundraising elements. The first of those games is Amazing the Great Ocean by Actrio, a PC and VR undersea adventure game. Let's have a look at the trailer.
I felt really immersed in that straight away. I felt like we were under the sea and I was wanting to free the turtles. So next we've got Avakin Life by Lockwood Publishing, and this is a wildly popular mobile life sim, and it's coming soon to Steam, so another one to put on your wish list.
So speaking of growing, soon Advocate Life is coming to Steam. You'll experience all of this, the style, the adventures, the community, bigger and better than ever. I'll see you there.
Well, as a Step It Up to the Streets fan, it was quite exciting to see Brianna Evergan, and that just shows the power of celebrity, right, to draw you into a game. So I was intrigued to check that out.
Yeah, and it's just amazing that celebrities can bring just more attention, more engagement with these really important green fundraising efforts with the What Planet Play and the Green Games Showcase is all about. Next, we're going to look at Fishing Clash by 10 Square Games. It's a mobile sports fishing sim, famous for kind of being really popular with real anglers, and made by a team who've been a really long-standing partner and supporter of Planet Play.
Welcome to Fishing Clash. It's the best mobile fishing simulator. From realistic worldwide locations to hundreds of different fish to catch. It's the next best thing to the actual real outdoors activity, and it's in your pocket all the time. So whenever you need to get away, it's there. You can also join a clan and compete in duels, and there are weekly events, so you will never run out of things to do. But it's not just fun, we're also big on environmental awareness. So we try to help spread the word on problems and solutions, because we love fishing, and we want to preserve it for the generations yet to come. Try Fishing Clash for free. Download it now.
What I liked about that was you could see the genuine love for the subject matter, and I guess that's really important because it will pull people in with that love, and that makes them connect with that green messaging all the more. So yeah, like really, really important, valid stuff.
Yeah, so next we've got Klondike Adventure by Visor, and it's a mobile farm simulator set during the gold rush era, which sounds really interesting. Let's have a look.
Cool, yeah, lovely, and such a tremendous amount of detail squeezed onto every screen of that. That was really, really compelling to me. Like, I guess the idea of, a farm sim in a rural world is really lovely, but in terms of being engrossing, I loved how much detail was on display there. It really felt, again, like a nice place to be.
Yeah, and also alerting you to stuff like, endangered species and stuff, which I think is really important.
Yeah, great. And as simple as that, play the game, buy the right item, help the planet while you're having fun. Speaking of fun, next we're going to look at Puzzle Adventure by Pixel Federation. It's a supernatural mobile mystery game with detective and escape room elements. So loads going on. Let's see what that actually means.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Well, that one kind of combines two of my rabbit holes that I continually fall down, which is like supernatural and true crime. Well, not true crime, but crime and solving mysteries and stuff, all in a kind of top-down point-and-click adventure. I like the look of that.
Yeah, and I love that. I'm a big fan of the isometric perspective. That kind of little diorama world is so welcoming. And yeah, I just love the idea of it being a kind of detective mystery game. Yeah, another one I could rush home and play right now.
So next we've got Massive Warfare by Tiny Bytes. So this is a mobile online battle sim focused on tanks mainly. So let's have a look.
Oh, I really love that. It felt to me a little bit like a kind of modern take or a massively updated take on Atari's Battlezone from 1980, 44 years ago, the year I was born. But yeah, to show like bringing to life that classic game concept and it looked kind of, really vibrant and action-packed. That generated like a nostalgia in me and this excitement about such a sort of contemporary looking game.
Oh, and you can get a Planet Play themed battle pass for that one. So that's the green activation.
And a really deep interaction with the game, which is really cool. And next we're going to look at another game by Tiny Bytes, actually, Battle Cars. It brings intense PvP vehicular combat to mobile, which is a concept I like the sound of.
Or that looked really, really fun, like a kind of Mad Max, Demolition Derby, Rocket League mashup.
I also just got a little bit of a vibe of the underrated, I'd love a sequel, but Calling All Cars, the early PlayStation Network game, I think 2007. But yeah, like you say, Rocket League, Mad Max, Destruction Derby, a bit of Mario Kart. So many great things in one game. I mean, yeah, who couldn't fall for that one?
And next we've got Standoff 2 by Axel Bolt Studios, which is a free-to-play first-person action shooter.
Course, some intense and really competitive stuff there. I think that what that makes me think is any type of game can help contribute to the green effort, to green fundraising.
And the activation element is that chameleon pack that you can buy in the game.
Right, so next we're going to look at Sui from Letty Arts. This one, so distinct. When I was kind of planning this, I didn't really quite know how to describe it. It doesn't seem to fit in a genre, but a distinct hyper-casual mobile ball weaving game informed by the kind of patterns you find across culture, across Africa. So yeah, really interesting idea. I'm definitely not describing it well enough, so let's take a look at what it is.
Yeah, it's really good to see the trailer. I actually downloaded it and played it. It was really, really fun and really different. So different to anything I've played before, really.
Yeah, taking those kind of cultural artifacts, those patterns, and making something that you really have to kind of interact with and get familiar with. I love that power of games to use kind of interaction to connect you with different things. So yeah, just another example of how powerful games can be.
So next we've got Zoocraft Animal Park Tycoon, and that's by Lab Cave Games, and it's a mobile zoo builder simulator.
Cool, I've got to admit, I've always kind of secretly fancied the idea of being a zookeeper, working in a zoo, like the conservation efforts there. But as I've spent the last 19 years being a writer in the games industry, I'm not really qualified. But fortunately, thanks to Zoocraft, Animal Park Tycoon, I can give that a go. Yeah, one I definitely want to throw some time into.
From today, you can buy their tree bundle, and 50% of the proceeds from that go to Planet Play's wildlife protection project.
Next, we're going to look at Orna by Northern Forge. Now, this is a mobile turn-based MMO RPG. It's got classic pixel art, as you'll see, and interestingly, GPS gameplay. So let's see what that's all about. Cool, nice stuff. Getting me nostalgic again with that real kind of classic RPG look. And, you know, I guess pocketable monsters don't completely have to dominate the kind of location-based gaming space. Really interesting seeing kind of something else bringing fresh ideas to that genre.
You might have heard of this next one. It's Heyday, and it's from Supercell, so one of the biggest mobile gaming companies there is. And it's a mobile farming game, so let's have a look.
Now, let's check out the new events and decorations coming your way.
Heyday is joining this year's Green Game Jam.
To support this year's cause, we've prepared special Let It Be events in the first few days of the month, all focused on raising awareness and protecting bee habitats.
Here's how you can help. During the Global Help event, revive trees and bushes on other players' farms.
Every help action brings the community closer to the global goal, and once we reach it, Heyday will donate to bee-saving efforts around the world. You can also take part in the Cozy Task event, where you can earn the roundabout and the spring fence and track your progress in the Let It Be decoration collection.
The Farm Pass will bring decorations like the Groovy Stage and Groovy Coop,
along with an animal hat, perks, and handy items.
As one of the most played mobile games there is, we probably don't need to share too much on what Hay Day is. You saw it there, kind of brilliantly demonstrated. It's really amazing that we've got absolute giants like Supercell supporting the fun today. It just shows the power of a game becoming a global phenomenon like many of Supercell's games have become, and that popularity opens up an opportunity to help, again, with this critical effort to face off climate change.
Yeah, it just goes to show that you can, by playing the games that you love, you can still help the planet, and that's what we're all about.
Next, we're going to go over to Flick Solitaire by Flick Games, an amazing, really popular suite of mobile games that's actually coming to Steam this summer, so another one to wishlist. And remember, a wishlisting kind of, as well as helping the game, it really helps the cause, so worth doing.
That's one for my dad, that one. He's been playing the same solitaire game on the PC since the 90s. So it's amazing to see it looking so fresh and vibrant with all of those beautiful designs that they've got on there, all by independent artists.
Yeah, I love that. Like taking such a familiar game, like one of the most played games of all time, Solitaire, and using it as like a gallery, a showcase for different artists. And actually you can unlock a green pack showcasing different beautiful art from different artists on the green theme in there. So yeah, they're doing some really interesting stuff.
And now we're on to our third and final category, which is games that have directly contributed to the Planet Play fundraiser.
Yeah, and what's really interesting about that is obviously not every game can be green by theme like the first games we looked at, and some games, their makeup or the way they're distributed means they can't even really appropriately host a green activation, but any game company can make a donation to help this effort. So yeah, it just shows any game can be green. And the first of those, I guess, game companies that has made a donation to this is Amazon Games through their game King of Meat, which is a co-op party platformer. It sets up 4 players against each other in these devious puzzle-filled dungeons. So yeah, let's take a look at the trailer.
Live and unedited, from the thumping heart of the universe, King of Meat!
Who will be the next legend of King of Meat? Who? Why not you?
Tonight, 4 brave contenders pit their skills against the most deadly dungeons, devious death traps, and puzzling puzzles. We've got our joyfully unhinged friends at Comstruct locked inside a secret chamber, making devious dungeons for you to explore.
And now you can build for Comstruct in what we call Create Mode. Oh boy!
It's the universe's most twisted televised spectacle, King of Meat!
Yeah, I mean, sure, like such a vibrant, again, detail-filled party game. Nice to see that amount of polish in a party game, Fall Guys a little kind of reminded me of, with so much else going on. But yeah, and not out yet. It's one you can wishlist on Steam. But yeah, keep an eye on that one. Great to be able to share a fresh trailer of a game yet to be released.
So next we've got Sociable Soccer 2025, which is from Tower Studios. And guess what? It's a very sociable football game.
Amazing. Yeah, if you didn't know, Sociable Soccer 2025 kind of comes from, obviously with his team, but the mind of John Hare, famous for being part of Sensible Software back in the day as an Amiga fanboy. It goes deep for me.
It's wicked to see that style of gaming still alive in 2025.
Yeah, and we're actually going to stay with John Hare himself for our next, I'm going to call it an item, because it's definitely not a game.
Meet John Hare, co-founder of Sensible Software. John created some of the most iconic titles of the 80s and 90s while composing unforgettable soundtracks. But now, John is taking on a new challenge. He's formed Sensible Band, a band that's ready to produce electrifying rock anthems and bring to life some iconic video game melodies. Get ready for their debut album, Positivity.
To see the music from that time brought back to us now in the current day is really nice. Right, so next up we've got Sunshine Days Town Builder by NetSpeak. And it's a laid-back, cosy farming town builder game, which sounds lovely. So let's take a look.
Blimey, yeah, strikingly vibrant game there. Something I love about that, I guess, big up NetSpeak, a relatively small team making a donation. It shows you don't have to be a giant to support this kind of cause. But actually, despite being a relatively small team, people involved in the game come from 25 different countries, and I love the idea of any game having that much variety of background and kind of cultural influence coming in. I said the word vibrant, and perhaps that's the secret. So yeah, really interesting to see that. And another donor, so it's time to give a shout out to Shark Mob for donating to the fundraiser today. And we're going to take a look at the trailer for Exoborn, a PC and console kind of futuristic open world extraction shooter. Kind of extraction as a mechanic is really booming at the moment, cropping up in all kinds of genres in really interesting ways. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what Shark Mob are up to with it.
Reborn. Let's finish the fight.
Because after we do this, everything is gonna change.
Cool. I mean, big up Shark Mob for their donation, but big up Shark Mob for producing something so polished. That looks amazing. Like I mentioned it before, like Extraction's really booming. It delivers so much, like the extraction mechanic of like having to get out, and often the Direction points kind of bringing everyone together for really intense battles. Now, from a game you've no doubt seen before to perhaps one you won't have heard of, next we're going to look at Bahamut and the Wak Wak Tree, a 2D adventure game rooted in Arabian mythology. So yeah, fascinating already. Let's check the trailer.
I love the rich visuals on that. I really wanted to dive in, if you get my meaning.
Dive in, very nice. Just to say, that one is coming soon to Steam, so another one to wishlist. And yeah, just keep an eye on it because it looks like a great game. Made by Starvania, so yeah, thank you Starvania for the donation, really helping. Thanks so much.
And another one coming soon to Steam is Azuma Escape from Ash Games. And this sounds very intriguing. It's a comedic stealth game where you have to try and escape people's hospitality. So let's have a look.
I love that. Like, there's been some great comedy games over the decades, really. Like, you know, seeing Monkey Island's return not so long ago, like Jazz Punk. There's been so many great comedy games, but I always want more comedy games. And to see kind of inverting the pretty serious tone of stealth into something I guess we're already all familiar with is, you know, being a social thing you don't feel like being is. I absolutely love that. What a wicked idea. The next developer to shout out is Tilting Point. Once again, donating to this fundraiser, helping us hit that target. We're going to take a look at the game Avatar Realms Collide, an immersive 4X strategy game available already on mobile.
Well, I'm really looking forward to actually having a go at that one, having watched quite a lot of the Airbender series with our son. It looks really great.
Yeah, and I love that. I mean, Avatar with its different tribes and regions just has such a, coupling that with 4X is such a great idea. And of course, the team have also made a donation to today's Planet Play fundraiser. So yeah, really great stuff to see.
So next we've got Ritual of Raven. So this is a story-based farming sim, but you don't have to do the farming yourself. So let's have a look at that.
I love that idea of it's described as it's got a witchy twist using arcane magic to kind of help with your farming. So really interesting stuff, and such a beautifully illustrated game. You felt you could really feel the kind of human hand in the way that looked.
Yeah, I just wanted to disappear into that world. It looked really inviting.
Yeah, and that brings us to the last game of today's Summer Games Fest Green Games Showcase. I think it's a world you'll have heard of. It's probably a world you'll have spent some time in. Yeah, shout out to the Walking Dead team, because they've also donated to today's fundraiser, getting us nearer to that $150,000 target. That's going to make such a difference. So yeah, we're going to look at The Walking Dead. It's actually a 5-part game series, and of course it's set in the same universe as Robert Kirkman's award-winning comic book series. Let's take a look.
Rated M for mature.
I've driven a bunch of fellas down to this prison. Usually it's about now I get the, I didn't do it.
Every time?
Every time. People will up and go mad when they believe their life is over.
In the road!
This other time...
What should we do now?
Staying put for too long is a mistake. Those things are all over the damn place.
I know who you are. And I know you're a killer.
I'm so hungry, Lee.
Everyone's starting to hate me because I'm the one that rations the food. There's not enough for everyone. Good luck.
I don't know much about you folks. If y'all keep going on like this, that girl ain't gonna make it.
You put that girl in danger again, it won't be walkers you have to worry about.
Get it off, goddammit! Get it off me! Shit! Walkers!
I'm gonna have to cut you out.
Try the trap again! Anything, please!
I mean, such a well-received, compelling game series already. I think the whole reason that version of the apocalypse is so compelling, or the looming apocalypse is so compelling, is that what would I do? How would I feel? I reckon I'd do all right. And that chance to dive into that world and experience it, just really amazing stuff in a and I just love the visually distinct style of that one too. And it's our last thank you, but thank you to Skybound Games for donating to today's fundraising effort. Another amazing thing that's been happening in this really exciting green gaming space at the moment has been the Solarpunk Game Jam. The jam's being hosted by Trevor Noah's Day Zero Productions and the team over at Anima Interactive, and they're just doing some amazing stuff, making really interesting green games. So let's have a look at what's been going on at the jam. And there you go, we have it. The last of many brilliant, brilliant games making a difference to the future of our planet, and a positive difference, importantly.
Yeah, and I'm just really, really excited to go away, get to play some amazing games and impact our planet in a great way.
If you're into games, you've probably heard of Ian. Back in the 70s, he was the co-founder of Games Workshop. He was the co-creator of those amazing fighting fantasy books. He was the driving force behind bringing games like Tomb Raider to the world, and also the driving force behind bringing Dungeons and Dragons to Europe. Like, I've worked in games for a long time and been lucky to know Ian a little, and he's just always been there evangelising for games' ability to educate, to inform, to make a positive difference to the world. I wanted to start by asking you, fundamentally, what is it about games that lend them that power to educate, that kind of make them such a great vehicle for educating?
Well, I firmly believe games are a contextual hub for learning. I really discovered that way back in the 70s, playing Dungeons and Dragons and seeing how creative that was as a game and how it brought people together and people were improvising, and it's like theatre on the fly. So it's a very creative process. And then I used to write Fighting Fantasy game books. They were the very first branching narrative books with a game system attached to them, where children make choices at the end of each paragraph, set in a world of monsters and magic, turn left, turn right simplistically, or solving puzzles and rolling dice to fight the monsters. When it comes to video games, you can't get through a game without problem solving. It's impossible. So it's an interactive problem solving activity. You can fail in a safe environment. You're encouraged to try again. If you fail at first, you're not judged a failure like you are in an examination, which is a one moment in time there where one person is judged against another. We all learn at different speeds, and in a game you can learn at your own pace and encouraged to try again until ultimately everyone can become a winner. And games like Minecraft are effectively a creative tool, 3D digital Lego, effectively building these wonderful 3D architectural worlds. A child can learn contextually by applying the heat of a furnace to silica sand. They'll create glass, and they'll take that glass and put it in their environments, and they won't forget it because it's learning by doing, albeit it's a digital learning, it's still learning. And Roller Coaster Tycoon, effectively a management simulation. A child is learning the physics of building the rides, the staffing levels required to run those rides, and the pricing levels to make it a successful theme park. And if they get it wrong, they tweak the parameters and ultimately they become a winner. So every part of a game has some educational content. But the beauty of it is that people are having a great time.
Yeah.
And so why can't learning be fun? And that seems to kind of go against the traditional thought process inside the Department of Education, where they think gaming is trivial and learning has to be a turgid, horrible academic affair that bores kids to death. And I think just embrace games, because games are powerful in not just play, but in cultural, social and economic impact on the world.
Yeah, what motivated you? I guess this is bringing us onto the green issue, but what motivated you to get involved in what Planet Play are doing?
Well, it's obviously, of course, I believe in having a great planet where we can all enjoy and not kind of die as a result of our activities. And games, again, reach audiences that traditional media can't. And using games as well, you can gather data through activities and responses from people playing those games. And people who play games do seem to care a lot about everything. And I think it's just a great initiative that's been set to be able to use the power of play and the gaming audiences. And let's not forget there are 3 billion games in the world, and accessing parts of the world where, as I said, traditional media just cannot reach.
I guess sometimes people approaching games, maybe players or people watching this might think, do I want to watch a game with educational value? Does making a game with these kind of educational impacts mean an inherent sacrifice of its entertainment value, of its kind of quality in that regard?
Hopefully not, because the game's all about having fun.
Yeah.
And there's no reason why learning can't be fun, as I said earlier. Therefore, I don't think any games maker should set out specifically to make a product that is purely educational at the expense of the entertainment context, because people just turn off and say, I'm not here to learn, I'm here to play. But in play, you are learning. When we enter this world as children, we learn through play. It's a natural process of learning.
To dig in a little deeper, kind of, you said game makers perhaps shouldn't think of making an educational game. Have you got any more advice to developers? I guess I'm thinking particularly you're making that entertainment product that's guided by your creative vision, but how you can install it with kind of educational value.
Well, I'll backtrack a little.
Okay.
I don't mean to say they shouldn't set out to make an educational game, but when they do, you should not sacrifice the entertainment value and the mechanics of enjoyment in any way, because that's what people play a game for.
If a developer's got some kind of narrative-driven game, how they can think about the educational legacy that game.
Well, you
might
can
be able
make
to
people aware of events and issues through a game in context. If it's in context, then it's fine. If it's just thrown in, look at this because it's important, then you're talking to me and you're trying to direct me in a certain way. I want to have my own opinions.
Right,
but
yeah.
happily, if the game brings those problems that exist to my attention through the game,
Yeah.
right, that's fine.
Well, Ian, thank you so much for taking time to talk to us today. Obviously, thank you so much for your work as ambassador of Planet Play. Thanks again, Ian.
Game on.
Cheers.
Thank you.
And with that, happily and sadly, we are done. What an amazing spread of really interesting, different, distinct games that are all really making a difference to the planet we live on. And that's what this is about. It's about that fundraising, trying to hit that $150,000. But it's about more than that. It's about protecting the future of this planet we all share, and doing that through playing games. So what can you do? Just a reminder, if any of today's games caught your eye, download them, play them. If they're not out yet, wishlist them. If you go into any of those games and you find that there's green items you can buy in the games, do that. That will really help with the cause. Just tell your friends, spread the word, spread the message. The more people involved, the more we can do. And do get over to planetplay.com to find a load of other games that help the planet in so many amazing ways.